Gonna need that, and we're gonna need this, and I actually might need this. How's it going, RC drivers? Welcome back to the channel. I'm in project mode, and it actually started because Traxxas released a couple new colors on the TRX-4m, this sick blue with white top and a pink version. And I had to go with the pink. I thought it looked pretty sick. And since I just did a video on the Ultimate XRT last week, I'm kind of in this ultimate mode where I'm gonna build up, I think, an Ultimate TRX-4m using this new kit and a bunch of parts that I've been collecting for this Defender here. So yeah, let's get into it. Let me show you what I got. There's all sorts of parts that I've been collecting over the past few months. I've got their portal axle kit. I've got their brushless system, brass weights for the wheels, servo mount, all sorts of goodies, lights, links, more lights, even the screw kit, ball bearings. I think there's the transmission in here somewhere. There it is, the transmission. Lots of stuff to go on this. Let's get this out of the box so you can see this new color. Check it out, there's the new pink body. Actually, it looks a little bit more magenta, but nonetheless, very cool. That's definitely gonna pop out on the trail. If you're not familiar with the TRX-4m, it's about $160, ready to run. They give you the battery pack, charger, some basic tools, and the transmitter. You're gonna need AA batteries for that. Truck's all built. All you gotta do is charge it up and then you could go, but this thing looks sick. I think I'm gonna start off by putting the lights on the body first. So I've got all the lights for the Defender, and actually I've got the trailer lights too. I'm not gonna throw the trailer on this build, but these are the light bars, and it's actually a universal set to go with the Bronco. And then these are the headlights and taillights specifically for the Defender. Let's get started on just the headlights. So easy to pop this body off. The cool part about Traxxas stuff is a lot of it is just plug in and play. They make it really simple for anybody to mod their RCs. I see a lot of people worried about pulling their ready to runs apart to mod them or anything, and Traxxas, again, they just make it so simple. So I'm gonna start off by removing the headlight mounts here, and then I'm gonna find the left front light. That's a little bit bigger. There we go. All those LED pods are in, and I even like that they give you these little tabs where you can use zip ties to cinch down on the wires so they're not flopping around. Next up, we got to get this light bar set in. So this looks like it's a bit more intense. Just got to remove the stock grill, and now we got to put the light bar on the new grill. Screw on the light bar. And just got to snake the wire through the one side of the clip there. That's already looking pretty sick. The LED lights peeking from behind the lenses here, then the small light bar. And now it's time to move on to a scary part. I actually have to punch a hole in the brand new body for the upper light bar. And so I just have to basically center it here and ream a 7mm hole. Man, always scary just drilling into a new body like this. Knock off the edges at the bottom. All right, let's slide the light bar in. That's actually kind of a large hole. Actually, these brackets have to come off. I guess these are for the Bronco. And then they give you these Defender brackets. Then those new brackets just snap into the cage on top. Light bar is installed, you don't even see that hole, and I went and used the little wire attachments that they gave you. They just stick right on. Zip tie your wires down, makes everything look really good, and now we just gotta see this thing work. I just got the battery stuffed in here. We're gonna light this thing up. Check that out, that is super bright. That's so awesome. Check out the taillights. Very cool, love it. All right, now it's time to move on to the chassis. Lots to take apart on this thing. All right, so there's all the stuff going onto this chassis. Not much is gonna be left stock when I'm done with this. Maybe the frame rails and the shock perches. There's a lot of work to do. I also have all the stainless steel screws. I'm hoping that it's gonna work with some of the options that I picked up. So I've got the 2-speed transmission, I've got the portal axles, I've got the ball bearing set, and I've got the brushless system. So I gotta start actually taking things apart before I even get this thing apart here. So we're gonna start off with the transmission. 2-speed setup, and here is your high-low. It's a manual setup. But yeah, this definitely has some bronze bushings in it. I've got to take it apart anyway to get this motor out. So yeah, I'll just swap out whatever bushings to bearings that I can. And yeah, lots of bushings to get out. So one of the things, one of the questions I get is, how do you get these bushings out? What I do is I take the end of a hex driver and just work my way around the bushing until it pops out. And since they're, you know, get tossed in the spare parts bin, not worried about scuffing up the inside of these. There we go. Now I've got all the bushings out, started putting bearings in, and I've run out of the small diameter bearings. Luckily, I've got this upgrade RC set that was gonna go in my other Defender. And actually right now is probably the best time to go and take this motor out, because we got to swap that out too. So let's just get this out, and I'm going to put in the TRX-4m brushless power system. That's a drop-in system. Definitely, if you are going to do a full range swap like this with all different parts, you're going to want to just make sure that everything jives together. There's that motor. So we'll put this in. There we go. Just lightly torque down on that. Now this is what I wanted to tell you guys about. So since I'm putting the portal axles in, I have to put this idler gear in this spot. It looks like I go grab the blue gears out of the portal axle set. So this is definitely where you need to just plan out what you're doing so you don't mess things up. We got the blue gears here. There's all the gears installed, the specialty gear, the gears from the portal set, and I'm just gonna throw some cow RC grease in there, quiet things down just a little bit, and throw the cover back on, put this thing all back together. It's all back together. Got my stainless steel screws on, so I'm gonna drop this in the truck and then move on to the axle. Pop up and out, and I gotta swap over these center drive shafts, just replacing the hardware along the way. Just an easy project, right? So there's an adapter plate that needs to go in for the transmission first, then the transmission can drop in, and then the rest of the screws, all 4 of them. So since I've got the rear links off, I'm gonna start with just taking the whole rear section of the truck off. So that could go, and we'll get rid of these shock screws up top. I have to reuse those springs, so I'm just not gonna totally toss the shock aside. And then these screws here, and that whole rear end should just come right off. And there's that. And now the shocks. So I've got the blue aluminum shocks here, and actually have some spring collars as well. There they are. So I'm gonna put brass lower spring collars on, or spring cups, and then fill the shocks up. Just a couple drops inside, make sure you don't hydrolock it. Let's get these together. I just got 20 weight oil. It comes with 20 weight oil, but I had this big bottle open, so we'll just put a few drops in here. And it's always funny to see the comments when I fill up shocks. Everybody's like, oh, you need to bleed the air out. And I do bleed the air out. It's just I cut out the boring process of the bubbles raising up to the top in the edits. So getting all the air bubbles out from underneath. And this is a bladder style shock. We'll just bleed this out. Put that air hole up top. No air on the inside. Got your rebound. So we'll just swap over the spring. Here's that brass lower shock perch. Slide that on. That's a good looking shock. Got 2 shocks together for the rear, and now I'm going to turn my attention to the rear portal axles. Pretty cool that Traxxas came out with these. I'm surprised that they haven't actually come out with a TRX-4m that has them. I wonder if they're going to do that. Let me know if you think they're going to do that in the comments section below. But I want to go ahead, take these apart. They look like they've got bushings in them, and I want to see if I can throw ball bearings into it. So I started pulling the portal housings apart, and it looks like I could throw ball bearings in there, but I don't think I have the ones that I need. So I'm just going to go throw these back together until I have the right kit, and I'll just replace those at another time. But what I am going to do is put these gray portal covers on. I have them, might as well throw them on, just change things up a little bit. So I got the 4 screws off the back already. Not going to bother greasing anything just yet. I'll do that when I put some bearings in there, but it just changes up the look a little bit. Got to throw the links on in the shock, so I could just slide this right back up into the rear of the chassis. Looks like all 4 links are the same for the rear. That's a bonus. That definitely helps figure things out. But definitely like the look of these aluminum links from Traxxas. All different colors depending on what you want to do. I think the blue and pink's going to look really good once it's done. Well, there's the rear assembly, and that looks like a hot buttered mess. But once I get all the screws into these links and shocks, this is gonna come together. See, that looks pretty good, guys. Love the look of the links, the blue aluminum shocks. We got a little brass on there, the portals. Looks like it's clocked properly. Time to swap out the front now. Pulled off the old front end assembly, and I've got a bunch of goodies to throw on this portal axle. So I'm gonna go and put their metal geared servo on, and I've got the aluminum mount for that, and I've got the steering link with the metal servo horn, and then I've got the links that you guys saw and the shocks. Well, I got a little carried away. Once I bolted up the front end, then I just had to see it with wheels and tires on it. So I grabbed the BF Goodrich tires off my other Defender, threw it on these silver wheels that Traxxas offers. These are aluminum, actually threw a brass ring on the inside and their foam inserts as well. Tires feel pretty good. Then, of course, I had to throw the body on just to see how it looks. I think this thing came out absolutely awesome. Oh, I transferred over the Traxxas aluminum bumpers too that I had on this Defender, but this thing looks killer now. And it's got a bigger stance to it. So watch this. Throw it up next to a standard size Defender TRX-4m. And this thing definitely looks bigger. Glad I went with the bigger tires on it. It helps fill up the wheel gap just a little bit. But wow, guys, this is almost like an Ultimate. That would be pretty cool if Traxxas came out with one. Would you like to see that? Let me know in the comments section below. But right now, I need to go charge up a battery pack. We need to head outside to see how this thing drives. There it is, RC drivers, the pink Defender on the trail. It took me about 2 days to get this project together, throwing on parts here and there. Again, really happy with how it turned out. And I'm improvising with the camera right now. My 6-month-old DJI Action 5 decided it's not going to work anymore. So hopefully this Instago 360 camera works well, or Insta360 Go camera. Not sure how the audio is going to be, but look at this thing crawl, guys. Wow. You know, I built this up for the trail and came over to the rock area that I come to a lot. Just gonna see how it does. I mean, this is not what I built it for, but it's doing pretty well. So I'm noticing the low end startup on the throttle isn't as smooth as I would like it to be out of a brushless system. And I think it's kind of known about this particular Traxxas system. But once you get up, you know, past that initial startup, seems to crawl pretty smooth. And then high end throttle, I mean, we got some motor here. It's in low gear. That does pretty well. That transmission is really whiny. Wow, and I threw some grease in that thing too. Oh, don't go over, don't go over. Saved it. Just flip the 2-speed switch. Want to see how fast this thing goes. Oh, it's got some motor. Wow. Okay, that thing's quick. That'll walk away from you on the trail. Wow. And it's got some serious brake too. Oh, here we go again. Don't roll it, don't roll it. Saved it again. Oh, hop, there we go. See how the low end is on the with the high gear. Not too bad. Let's check out the clearance on these portals. That's where these ledge rocks come in really handy for me. Yep, we got clearance now. No problem. Oh, still in high gear. It does not like a load on it when it's in high gear going uphill. Definitely a little cogging out of the motor. But on the high end, it's got some power. It's got wheel speed. And plenty of steering too, out of those portals. Again, swapped out the steering links, swapped out the steering servo, and we got some throw. Absolutely love the look of all the LED lights on the front. Pretty easy to install, even though I had to drill a hole in the top of the roof. I mean, everything went well together. And that's what Traxxas parts are all about. Just really easy for someone to modify their model, have fun with it. And there's a lot of stuff out there for the TRX-4. You don't have to get all Traxxas parts. That's not what this video is about, actually. It's just about the fun of building something up. And then seeing it perform. Got out of that. Nice. Yeah, so we can get some slow power out of the system. Again, low gear. A little correction. Try not to make another turn. It's getting sketchy. Oh, my first roll. I can tell this one's just gonna be fun for the trails. It's not a true rock crawler, and I don't think any Defender really is. But for the trails, this thing is just gonna be killer. It's got plenty of speed, plenty of clearance, go over tree roots and rocks on the trail, plenty of steering. Definitely like the look of this build. It was a lot of fun. I'll have links for everything in the video description below, including the MSM thumb steer that I've got on this. This comes in super handy for crawler, guys.